Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show where, after the collision, we sift through
the wreckage.
The wreckage. I am your host, Jimmy T. That is the vet, Jamie Williams, and we are live on Hamin Media Group on the YouTube and on channelattitude.com. After the fact, it is WrestleMania weekend. It is Super Wreckage Saturdays, vet, and what a last, actually, the whole week, vet, has been kind of a big week in terms of news for wrestling, especially considering we started off with CM Punk and Errol Hawani, which was, look, I'm going to say it right now, that was pretty eye-opening, even though we knew half the shit that Punk was saying, as in we were speculating. But god damn it, I feel bad for AEW after the week they've had. I mean, it's been pretty... what's the word? Pretty, a lot of shit was happening for poor old Tony Khan, shall we say.
Yeah. And his, obviously, if the things that Punk are saying is even partially true, then that means that a lot of people there are not good at just no-selling this kind of stuff. As you saw with that episode of Dynamite that starts with a weirdly rah-rah speech from Edge, just like, motherfucker, you just got here. That kind of thing, like tone deaf, but it's like you could have just business as usual, but they can't though, so it was kind of weird. I don't blame him though. Like, it didn't bother me, but I did have to kind of like laugh at it a little bit. And then Jimmy, did you see now there's hot news, like hot and fresh out the oven news. Did you see this?
Fill me in, vet. Because,
okay. So apparently people are reporting that AEW is going to air footage of the all out incident with Punk and Jack Perry now, because they apparently they want to contradict the things that he said in the interview. Wow. So it's like they're going to prove that, whatever. I don't know what they're going to prove, but supposedly they want to air it. Now, where they're going to air it, I don't know. How they're going to air it, I don't know. What are they going to want to say about it? I don't know. But that is a report that's going around right now.
I am speechless. If they do just say this does happen, I haven't heard this. This is the first I'm hearing of this, so that's news to me.
But I told you it's hot and fresh.
Literally fresh out of TK's backside, it seems.
This is like Red Velvet was in your mama's kitchen just cooking up this news.
Well, she must be cooking for a long time, because where's she been lately? I haven't seen her. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, if these stirring it up, all right, and cooking at the same time. But if that is true, what you just said, I'm sorry, but this is just going to make AEW look even worse, bro. It's going to make them look so petty, so childish, and just ridiculous. I mean, TK, I don't know if you hear us, but trust me, don't do it, all right? You're going to look like a fool. The whole company's going to be embarrassed if they do this, dude.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're putting one of WWE's biggest stars back on your TV if you do that. Yeah. Secondly, one thing that everybody, like, obviously there's been different accounts of what happened, right? Like some people say these details, other people say these details. But one thing everybody kind of agreed on was that Jack Perry got fucked up. So
yeah.
So I don't really like. It's not gonna make that look good. I mean, he's over in New Japan doing his own thing right now. But if you air that, is that almost like the nail in the coffin of his AEW career?
Absolutely done. And like, look, if I was Jack Perry,
it might be the nail in the coffin of his New Japan career. Because if anybody sees that, it's like, oh well.
Wow. Well, it's true, because, they're very honorable, but to give New Japan credit, they kind of do give chances to guys that probably wouldn't get any more chances in the States, say, for example. So they do, not with everybody, but they have done it in the past. But at that point, I would be like, you know what, Jack? Just leave Japan, will you, please? Like, you know what I mean? Go and do a new series. Maybe call it 90210. Hey, there's an idea. right? He can be Dylan all over again, just like his daddy. Maybe he should do that. You know what I mean? Because it will look
If
bad.
they're gonna do 90210 style shit, then he'd be a perfect fit for NXT.
True, actually, that's true. And heck, you might as well bring his girl with him too. She could be the new Kelly of 90210 in the NXT series, shall we say? But no, in all seriousness though, if they decide to do that, and I can understand TK must be having a fit, bro. Can you imagine, be like, Paul, like to the Paul Levesque that is, right? As in Triple H. Look, come on, Paul. Come on, Paul. Why, Paul? Like, seriously, he might as well kiss goodbye. Because I know we don't put emphasis in ratings, but what's troubling, they're dropping down to 700,000 now. Like, seriously, say what you will, that is pretty bad for AEW. But again, if they decide to do this, they're the ones that are going to look silly. Not CM Punk, not WWE. It's them. And that just comes across as extremely childish. And they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're literally burying their own grave if they decide to do that, dude. I mean, how can the AEW Marktards even stand up for that shit if that happens?
I don't know if they can, but I mean, they will try. And I don't know whose idea this was. Perhaps they're trying to talk Tony into it. Or maybe they're trying to just leak this to see what the reaction is. And then they might say, oh, yeah, we're not going to do it or something. Like, you know, they can make up any excuse, but...
there's a problem there, though, Vet.
But it's weird because, see, that's the thing. Like, here's what's weird about it. AEW, under whoever's direction, went so far out of their way to completely not mention any of this, any of the circumstances surrounding it. Even after the brawl out incident. And when you mentioned the Ariel Helwani interview, and Punk is saying that nobody contacted him for 6 months, so he wasn't even sure if he still had a job there.
I believe
so
that.
not only are they not explaining where Punk is or why he's gone, even though we know he had an injury supposedly, but they never said that on television. It was never part of their program. So even when he was going to come back, they acted like he didn't exist for like 9 months. And then when this thing happened, they'd have to say they fired him, but they didn't say why. They didn't say anything. They made up a bunch of bullshit just to say he feared for his life or whatever, all this stuff. And then it's like, okay, and then he's just gone, but they don't talk about it. So now if you just randomly bring up a piece of footage from last year, people are going to be like, why? Like, what if everybody that watches AEW TV, what if they didn't watch the Ariel Helwani interview? What if they don't listen to what Punk is saying? What if they don't care? What if they just want to watch Dynamite? And then they see this piece of footage and they're like, what is this? Why? This was from when? This was from last year. This is from last August. Why didn't I hear about this? You know, it makes AEW look bad, like you said. There's no way they look good in it. Even if they contradict things that Punk said, you moved on. You fired him. Let him say what he wants. If you are not confident in your decision, then you shouldn't have said it, to quote a classic Tony Khan line. Right?
Facts. And that's the thing, right? It just makes him look bad. If anything, Punk's not going to care. He would laugh. And you know what he'll do? If they go through with this, don't be surprised if he actually takes him to court. Just say, he's petty enough to do. He'd be petty enough to do that. I'm telling you, dude. Like, he doesn't appreciate being slandered. Remember those magic words he said on the MMA hour with Ariel Helwani? He said that. He didn't like being slandered, which is fair enough. But this company is just for the tip after that. If they decide to do that, how can anybody take him serious as a professional wrestling company? If anything, it's only going to make WWE laugh, honestly, as a whole. You know what I mean? But it's up to TK. It's his promotion. Who are we to judge? But you just look like a child, Tony, straight up. If you decide to do that, you'd be like, hey, it's like, you know, spilt milk, dude, literally. Forget just ignore it. If I was them now, just don't even acknowledge it. But the problem now is, Vet, if they don't go through with it, they're going to look bad either way. So whoever said this shit, You know what I mean? It's just made them look bad, like regardless. So they either better like
It's probably Fightful Select if I had to guess.
yeah. Well, I'm surprised it's not Meltzer.
I mean, maybe things aren't all. Hey, you don't elect me Booker of the Year. Maybe I don't talk to you as much anymore.
Well, that's true. Facts. But in saying that, do you think the Bucks have something to do with this and they've been in Tony's ear? I can see 100%. That also.
100%.
There you go. 100%.
Basically, you could blame. I mean, shit. If you could probably blame every problem in that company on them too.
100%. But why doesn't?
And I said this a long time ago. And Serge is here. And when I used to do a podcast with Serge would remember me saying this. He would remember because we would talk about it all the time, either whether we're texting each other or whether we're on the podcast together. But I would, I would tell him, I'd be like, the fucking Young Bucks are killing the business. It's not just
literally
their catchphrase. That's a shoot.
Right.
Like they are ruining everything about wrestling. Like they're trying to anyway. And you're kind of seeing it. Like you started a company because you're not legit enough to work anywhere else. So you have to start your own fucking company. That's the thing. It's the same thing Jay White said in that promo, like about all the elite. And how prophetic was that? Even though he works there now, and I'm sure he was just using it. He was saying it in a working way, but it ended up being true. I mean, this is what I've been warning people about for like 5 years. I've been saying this. And, as usual, I'm 5 years ahead of the curve. Speaking of 5 years ahead of the curve, it was like, just a side note. You can catch my NXT review of Stand and Deliver this Wednesday with Big Ray Hernandez, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, along with the freshest episode. But did you see who was sitting in the audience, Jimmy?
You talking about Julia?
Julia's in the audience at Stand and Deliver. She was sitting, but she was at Stand and Deliver. And right next to her was William Regal. And right next to him was Rossi Ogawa. So something's up. But the reason I bring that up in terms of, hey, remember when Vet says things, is because 3 years ago, I was on Destino with Jargo talking about Stardom. And I said, anybody that's serious about women's wrestling needs to sign this woman now. Absolutely. Well, it took them 3 years, but it looks like that's the direction they're going, and it looks like that's who's serious about women's wrestling.
Oh, I'm looking forward to her actually, getting in the ring in WWE. Look, this was one of the worst kept secrets, and let's be real, right? If Vince was still in control of his company, as in WWE, we wouldn't actually have Julia in WWE. But even though the speculation was, kind of rife for a few months about her signing with WWE, I think she signed a long time ago, personally, and they debuted her now. But yeah, I'm excited, dude. I remember Jargo telling me, I didn't know who Julia was a few years ago, right? And he told, you don't know Julia? And he's like, dude, go and check her out. And when I did, she's legitly, arguably, maybe the best female wrestler on the planet right now. You can make that argument. I don't know about that.
But it doesn't matter if she's good at wrestling or not. What matters is she's a star, and she has it, and that's what you see.
That's it.
It only takes you one time to see it, and then after that, it's like, hey, we'll figure out what to do with her. Just lock her down,
I think she'll be pretty successful in WWE, and that's a cool thing about WWE in general, man. I feel like they literally, after watching Collision last night, right? Looking at the Japanese wrestlers they have compared to the Japanese female wrestlers that WWE have, it's night and day, bro. WWE literally get the best female Japanese wrestlers, and then AEW's got fucking genies. I'm just saying.
Magical girl, Jimmy.
Oh, they changed it. That's right. Tony was calling her a magical girl. For a minute, I'm thinking, did he forget the term genie? So he's saying magical girl?
No, it was wrong then, and he's corrected now.
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? That's the deal. It's who you've got to hook up with. I mean, Kenny has worked for the New Japan, promotion, but he only had the connections as far as the women's with the Tokyo Joshi Pro and DDT bullshit. So that's why you're going to get the second rate. That'd be like if somebody's looking to sign an American wrestler, and instead of looking at WWE, they're looking at AEW. It's
Jesus
or not even
Christ.
AEW. AEW is too high class. Let's say GCW,
Oh,
right? Like let's say.
Okay, now you're pushing it,
the
man.
Tokyo Joshi Pro of American Indies.
God, actually, it's a good comparison. Actually, they're pretty much that. I mean, they're the DDT of the American indie scene for sure, bro. Because to me, it's just a joke anyway. I can't stand GCW, but that's for another show. But yeah, no, it was a great pickup by WWE, absolutely. And I'm actually
assuming
excited.
she's picked up right now. She was just there,
No,
and the
she's
rumor was
signed.
that she was going to work some. She was going to work some other dates, so she might not come for a little while. And
I think she's
I don't.
signed.
I think she was supposed to do something in Noah also. But then again, so did Charlie Dempsey. So I mean, it's not like WWE won't let people go work on Noah's show.
Right.
But anyway,
Nakamura
Chris
do it,
Winland has
so-
a question.
Yeah.
You may want to read. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Well, Chris Millen in the chat says WWE has a solid female work base. They could create a whole brand for, which is actually true. Would doing such be alienating, or would such be a good idea for a women's branded show / PLE platform? What do you think, Vet?
No, don't do it. Because look, women's wrestling is, if you look at it like as being even remotely taken seriously in recent years, it hasn't even been 10 years.
True.
Like you could argue that they've only been treating women's wrestling seriously, not
about 8
counting,
years.
and I'm not talking about like TNA knockouts.
No,
but-
they've always taken it serious, right?
Yeah, but even that, you still had like some, but like as far as like putting them on an equal footing, like for real on the WWE stage, that's only been since the past like 7-8 years.
Literally.
And it's gonna take. There's still some people that are not that into it as far as that goes. So if you go ahead and put them on their own thing, right? If it's a success, okay, that's great. But then that's extra work for everybody else, because now you
Right.
have another sort of brand and different touring and all this other stuff, right? And you're also taking that attraction away from the main the main show. So like Raw and SmackDown, anybody that tuned in looking at that and saying like, yeah, I like to see the Becky Lynches and the, and the Rhea Ripleys and all this other stuff, like, if they're not on that show, are they going to lose viewers from that? Are they just going to go, and is that going to be enough to sustain another platform, right? But then if they fail, you don't want the women to look bad. You want to prop the women up. So that's why it's better to just keep everything together. That's always kind of been how it is. And I think they're doing a good job of balancing the men and the women's content on Raw and SmackDown right now. So I don't really see a reason to change that. Now, if you get enough hot angles going, you could do a one-off like Evolution, There's nothing that says you can't do that, but I wouldn't make it a routine thing, because anything that you make routine instead of special, it loses luster and then people lose interest.
I agree. And you know what? I enjoyed Evolution at the time. I actually didn't think it was a bad show at that time. And how long ago has that been now? 6 years at least?
It's been a long time.
Unbelievable. Time flies, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I agree though with you, Vet. Say what you will about women's wrestling. Unfortunately, it's just not popular enough to sustain its own show. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Call it sexist. I don't know, man. But it just, I think I can vouch even for the female end. Both male and female fans preferably prefer watching the men wrestle, 90% of the time. It is what it is. But that doesn't mean they can't, do their own thing. They need to sort of, and they're doing a great job, as you said, in terms of making women's wrestling a bigger deal. Like really, they're kind of at a peak period, I think, right now in WWE in terms of women's wrestling. But it's going to take a few more years to kind of get it on the same level, with the men's, if it ever gets to that level. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
right now, It's a renaissance period for women's wrestling.
Right. It's good. I like it how it is, and it can even get better than how it is, but I just mean the presentation. They have to, but I mean, if you look at things like traditionally, so Japan, they've always had their own women promotions, right?
Always from the 80s.
But what happened? What did we hear about earlier this year? Like the houses are kind of down for Stardom, and Stardom's the biggest. Right. And there was that one Stardom show where they were wrestling in front of like 100 people or something. It's like, you can't do that. That is going to destroy the perception of women's wrestling. If something like that were to, if you put on like an all women's show with all these WWE stars, all the Jade Cargills and the Biancas and the Rheas and all that, and they draw 100 people, like, what is that going to do? That you don't want that kind of, you don't even want to take the chance of something like that happening. So I just think they should just, work on improving the little things that they can now, and let everybody sort of like, it's good to have that co-ed atmosphere of like everybody getting along and, working together. And, if you got people like, let's say Seth and Becky, a couple, you don't want to split them up on the road to go to different things. There's a bunch of reasons why logistically it's just not the best idea. So.
No, I agree. But, maybe for the future, Chris, who knows? We'll see. But it's a long time. I think it's very far but away from happening, if it happens. But we'll see. Time will tell. Also, I just want to touch on even Cody being on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. Did you see what he said about AEW, and more specifically Brandy, his wife? Did you hear what he said about that? I don't know if
no, I missed that one. So go ahead and us.
Speaking of, let's shove AEW down the toilet. Continuing the day after when Punk was on, he essentially blamed AEW for Brandy's demise in AEW, and essentially calling it they used her as a scapegoat basically, and he started crying actually talking about it, which is interesting. Because, poor old AEW and TK is just getting bashed left and right. But in saying that, he was very positive about AEW, and he has no regrets, and he's proud of what he helped to create over there. So he did say that, but he did also throw him under the bus too.
Well, Cody's a politician, so.
Spot on. He was at his political best, actually, dude. To the point where if anyone kayfabes like in interviews a lot, right? But the thing is, he's very good. He's the perfect WWE PR machine, if you know what I mean. He is very good at answering questions without answering questions. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like he lets you feel like you got some kind of answer.
Exactly. Spot on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an art too, because a lot of guys, when they dodge questions, they clearly make it. And I'm not talking about Tony Khan. That's outrageous. I'm talking about like actual politicians. Yeah. When they dodge questions, they really make it seem like they are not answering your question. Like it's blatantly obvious.
Blatant.
Whereas Cody gives you just enough.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. It's like if it's like if you say, hey, can I have a bite of your hamburger? And you're like, well, you can have a French fry. You're like, well, that's pretty good. I'll have a French fry.
It's so true. But the thing is, you can see it. Like, I know I can. I know you would. But you can blatantly see it. It's like, I see what you're doing, Cody. I see what you're doing, but he's very good at it. And I'll take my hat off to him, because right now he is the perfect guy to be the face of WWE. I mean, look at him. Like you said, he's a politician. He's a billboard for WWE right now.
Yep.
And he knows how to deflect without deflecting, literally.
Right.
It's just weird. And like you said, that's an art. And he done that to a T. Except he did answer some things truthfully though, man. But he wasn't as bad as CM Punk was though. I mean, CM Punk just threw him under the bus. And I don't blame him.
Let me just, I want to say this because there's going to be people that didn't actually watch the whole thing because it was on a long time. It was like almost 2 hours. And I thought,
it, dude.
like, I actually watched it live because I was watching I know what I was doing. I was actually watched the video they put of him and Orton looking at their match from WrestleMania.
Oh, really?
Like Punk and Orton said, it was like WWE put this video up of Orton and Punk sitting down, chatting, and then watching their WrestleMania match and kind of doing commentary on it a little bit and telling their stories and all this other stuff. So it was just like a little video. But while I'm watching that on YouTube, over on the recommended videos, they show that the MMA Hour was live with CM Punk on there. So I clicked over. I guess I missed like the first 3-4 minutes of it. I didn't know how long it had been on, and I certainly didn't know how long it was going to go. But the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people did not watch this whole 2 hours. But you have to understand that CM Punk did not go on there and straight bash AEW for 2 hours. What happened was Ariel Helwani kept asking him Mark questions.
He did.
And he kept like needling at him. He kept doing the thing he would do to Tony Khan where Tony Khan would not answer and Punk would just answer. But every time he answered, he started his answers with that thing of like, I don't want to do this right now. Like he knew he was going to have to do it, but he didn't want to do it. But then he realized, well, I can't not do it. Because whatever. So it's not like he came and cut a promo on him. Ariel kept fucking asking him questions over and over and over again because he's a fucking mark. He just wants to know. He just wants to know shit about. And it's clear he's a mark by the way he talks about it. He had a fucking stuffed Bret Hart doll in the studio.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's just but he's literally watching him like this as he's talking, like, you know.
Yeah,
it's crazy to see.
So and. Obviously, that's what everybody wanted him to ask. And obviously, that's what everybody wanted to know. And that's what everybody wanted to hear. But it wasn't like he went on there and just buried him for 2 straight hours. And he also said that the same thing of like Cody saying, like, I didn't have any regrets of like, I liked my time there. I made a lot of friends there. And he wants everybody to do well. And he said that Tony was a nice guy. He just didn't want to be a boss, which, we've all can tell. Like we all know people that aren't confrontational. Like if they're the manager, they'll go send the lower manager to tell you something rather than talk to your face. Right. Like we know that. So that's not a surprise to anybody, but I just think it's fair to point that out just in case anybody wasn't aware of the situation.
Right. And as a matter of fact, like you said, he did call Tony a nice guy, but he's no boss. You know what I mean? He's not a leader. And like you said, everything we've already like heard about, he pretty much confirmed. That's basically what he did. So, but I'm surprised Ariel didn't ask him. So is Tony on freaking coke or something? I was waiting for that because he's the type of guy that would fucking ask those sort of questions. But like you said, I felt bad for Punk in some ways because you could see he was saying every time he goes, I'm going to regret talking about this. I'm going to regret He said it at least 4 times, dude, during the interview. And you could see it on his face. He's like, shit, I don't know. And then Ariel asks him, he goes, so why are you answering the questions then? I said to you, if you're not comfortable, tell me to fuck off, literally, in those words, right? But he turned around and said, well, I don't want to be the Tony Khan in the interview and say, I can't answer this question. And, like I said, I'll take my hat off for him saying that. But I'm hoping now AEW does what you said before, because it'll make me laugh. It will, because Punk didn't come across as petty. And the fact they didn't pick him up from the airport, even though we knew this, right? Is just so unprofessional and so amateur and Bush League. I would have walked out right then and I'd be like, fuck this place. Especially in a foreign country, dude. Really? You're going to do that to the guy? Eat a dick, Tony.
Well, again, we know who that was, right? We already talked about it, killing the business.
I know. Right, exactly. But still, the fact that he just let it happen, it's still TK's fault. You know what I mean?
I guess, unless he found out too late. I mean, see, that's the reasons I don't want to blame anybody, because I don't know, except I do know, you do know whose fault it was, but I don't know everything else around it. But you know what? That's fine. That part, all water under the bridge. Everybody's probably happier now. But you know. What about WrestleMania, Jimmy? We had night 1 last night. You watched it. I didn't.
I did.
Did you have any takeaways from it? I already saw some booking decisions that completely went against what I had already said, right? Remember, I laid it out, how it should go, what they should do as far as night 1, or did I? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't lay that out. I can't remember because I get mixed up between what I say on my Twitch streams and what I say in podcasts. So
Actually, to be fair, Vet, everything we did speak about. Now, we didn't do a predictions like show or anything like that, but what we said was going to happen essentially happened, dude. Like, I felt like night 1 was probably the most predictable night of WrestleMania so far, except for, I missed the Rhea Ripley Becky Lynch match for some reason, because Daylight Savings.
Did that open?
Yeah, which shocked me. I thought for a minute it was on the pre-show even, dude.
No.
Was it on? Are you sure?
Yes.
Because the thing is,
you're not putting that match on the pre-show. That was
I know.
Bro, they were on Ariel Helwani. You're not going to do an angle on Ariel Helwani and then be on the pre-show, bro.
No, you know why I say that? Because Daylight Savings ended for us, right? Which threw me for a loop, right? So now going from 12 midday, right? Because you guys went into Daylight Savings and now we're going out of it. So now it's totally threw me off. So basically, from going from 12 o'clock, where WWE shows or any wrestling show in the US would start my time, now it's at 9 a.m. All the shows that start now is 9 a.m. onwards. So I'm like, damn it. So I thought I tuned in at 9 a.m., but I didn't change my watch yet, right? So I missed the freaking first kind of, not hour, but I missed the first match and the Triple H part. But from what I gathered, it pretty much seemed like Rhea Ripley kind of destroyed Becky Lynch, as she should have, really, in my opinion. But I enjoyed night 1. The main event was predictable as well, obviously with The Rock and Roman Reigns winning. And you know what, man? Say what you will about The Rock, but The Rock he doesn't need to do much, but he's so good at the psychology side of things. It's something else to see, and he's so big, bro. Like seriously, Roman Reigns looked amazing too, dude. I've never seen him in better shape than at WrestleMania, like really. But The Rock and Roman made Seth and Cody look like dorks, little dorks. I'm sorry, I said it. And I like them both, Cody and Seth. But they looked so fucking small fry compared to The Rock and Roman. I just didn't like the matchup in terms of the appearance of it, if that makes any sense.
Well, I didn't see it, so I can't tell you. But I will say that just the result, like, that's already wrong. Cody should not have got pinned. It should have been Seth.
Right, and he gave 10. Well, put it this way: he gave 10 crossroads to Reigns. He was about to win, and then The Rock came in with the belt. You know how he says to Mama Rhodes, he's gonna whip him by, as you were saying on Raw and stuff like that. He started whipping him, and I mean hard, bro. And then Roman done his spear, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. But Cody did a million crossroads to Roman, and he still was kicking out.
Doesn't matter.
Well, we know night 2 schmoz.
Yeah, right. It was always going to be a schmoz, but you don't beat Cody because you still have to leave the principals unbeaten, right? You don't want to beat Rock because the heels have to go over, right? You don't want to beat Roman because he's the champ. So that leaves the baby faces have to lose. You don't want to beat Cody because he's in the most important match. And Seth has to be not like if you go with my idea of Seth having to go on a downward spiral because he's been on top way too long. He needs to fucking go down now.
Too long. How long is it?
Seth needs to go down now. And if he's not like if I was Seth Rollins, which I'm not because I'm fucking smart, but if I was Seth Rollins and they came to me and they said, "Hey, you're going over on Drew McIntyre tomorrow," I'd be like, no, the hell I'm not. I need to lose. Like, this is one of those things where they would he has to know it's time to lose. Like, he should want to lose. It should be definitely, he should be in support of losing because not only does that put Drew McIntyre off somewhere else, but it gives him somewhere to go now. And it ties into the Cody story because now it's going to be like, when Cody's in trouble in the main event, is Seth going to help or not? You have to tell all those stories. And the best way to tell those stories is if he loses in night one, and then Cody now doubts Seth Rollins, is like, not that he's going to help him, but like, are you hurt? Like, are you now hurt? And then if he loses to Drew McIntyre, it's like, if Drew McIntyre fucks him up, now Seth Rollins is like, is Seth Rollins too damaged now? Like, can he actually do anything to help Cody in this main event? Or is he going to be in the hospital? And then he comes out all taped up, you know, and the big thing, you know, that's the story there. That's how you make sense out of it. But they've already not done that. You fucking beat the guy. That to me, if you beat Cody on night one, you're almost like 100% guaranteeing, telegraphing that he's going to win. Cause it's like, it's the doubt. Yeah.
It's obvious.
You don't
sides.
take all the heat and then die, you know?
Right. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's even more obvious now. They've ruined it in some ways, dude. You're right. Because even now, the Seth Drew match, surely Drew wins because Seth just went through a grueling match last night, right? How can he go 2 nights when McIntyre didn't wrestle, didn't appear on night one? You know, he didn't get involved in the match, nothing like that. It's only going to make either Seth look bad or it's going to make Drew look piss weak if he can't beat Seth Rollins now. You know what I mean? But the way the show ended was exactly how last year's WrestleMania ended, with Cody in the middle of the ring, you know, with his legs kind of crossed and just looking like what the fuck, you know what I mean? That was exactly how they ended the show. It was a split, like, I mean, exactly the same as last year, bro, minus the chicken. Well, if you remember.
Speaking of chicken, congratulations to Mark Briscoe for being the Ring of Honor champion.
I forgot. There's Death. Was it Death Before Dishonor or whatever? This past
Super Card of Honor.
Oh, sorry, see, I get confused. Super Card of Honor, and yes, but you know what pisses me off about that though, Vet? Who was holding him up in the middle of the ring when he won?
Who?
Matt Taven.
Ugh.
Why?
Get your Mickey Mouse gloves off me.
Dude, really, man? Now, let's just break, like, kayfabe, period, right? Oh, but wait, this is Ring of Honor, not AEW. I forgot, right? Don't worry. It doesn't matter when it happens over there, but the fact they did that, come on, guys. Seriously. It's just a little thing. It's not hard. You know what I mean? But whatever, man. They did what they did, but good on him. I'm happy for him. But honestly, Vet, does it mean anything at this point?
Yeah, it means something. Some that his brother did, and you know,
right,
it's symbolic
brother,
enough to everybody there. Yeah.
I'm talking more in terms of 2024, though.
What do you mean? The year? Like, does it matter?
No, because it doesn't even feel like the original Ring of Honor anyway, especially back when Jay Briscoe was champion many years ago.
Well, you make it mean whatever you want it to mean, right? So
I guess. But remember when Jay first won it? How much of a big deal was that? I remember that was a big deal when Jay Briscoe won it. I felt it, and I wasn't the most, like, you know, I mean, I was watching Ring of Honor here and there, but I wasn't like religiously into it. But it, you know, Jay made me want to watch it when he first won the championship, and that's when he had the short hair. I mean, this was a bygone era, and then he won it again. Like, you know, I think it was a 2-time Ring of Honor champ, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And he had a good run, like good 2 runs. But, you know, Mark is great, but he's no Jay Briscoe, unfortunately. But he's still great. I mean, you can't hate Mark. You can't hate the Briscoes, period. You know what I mean? And R.I.P. to Jay, of course. I still can't believe he's gone, dude. That still trips me out every time I think about it. But good on him. I just don't like how they break the fourth wall and pretend like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know?
There's a little bit of that. That's a problem everybody has. They get too comfortable with this. Well, the other thing I was gonna ask, because like just to put a bow on WrestleMania for a minute, and then we'll get.
I was gonna say the results.
We'll get to. We don't need to go through the results.
Okay.
If you watched it, you care. You know, if you cared, you watched it. And we'll get to Collision, but so overall, like, did you notice anything different? Because one of my favorite things about WrestleMania, right? And I say this sarcastically, is all the people that don't watch all year long and then they show up around WrestleMania time, they watch, they bitch about everything,
Right.
and then they're just gone again as soon as WrestleMania is over, but they like to put themselves over as like being smart. And I'm just going off the things I've seen on my own timeline. So
Right.
if the shoe fits, whatever. But everybody likes to show up, criticize stuff that they have no idea what's going on, and talk about how meh everything is and how it's boring and how nothing matters except, I'm only here to see The Rock and yada 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 yada, like all this shit, right? And then they'll be gone again. But as somebody, you watch WWE week in, week out because you have to. So like, does this feel like a different thing now? How did WrestleMania compare to more recent years' WrestleManias? Or is it the same? Is it the same old shit anyway?
Well, there's a bit of column A and column B in saying that. First of all, it felt like a bigger deal this time around in terms of spectacle and just the feel of the show. But in many ways, yeah, it felt like the same old shit.
Oh, what about this? What about this, Jimmy? Because one thing I hate about WrestleMania is everything feels so rushed. Did this one feel rushed, or did it feel like everything got the proper time?
Actually, everything got their proper time. I felt like I watched a bit of the women's match after the fact, but going by what people were saying, I felt like that seemed to rush. But I haven't watched it properly, so I can't really answer that completely. I'm just going by reports. But other than that, I think everyone had a lot of time, dude. Like the ladder match was just. If you want to see a train wreck, watch that match. I mean, they were killing themselves, man. I felt bad for Big Head. What's his name, dude? From Judgment Day. What's his the Big Head guy, the Irish wannabe Finn.
JD McDonough.
JD McDonough. There you go. Dude, the way he crashed through a table. Anyway, you got to see. That was just bad. He looked fucked up from that. But no, I didn't feel it was rushed. Nothing seemed rushed from what I saw at all, dude. As a matter of fact, everything had a decent chunk of time. The main event went for a long time, as predicted, I guess. And it didn't feel, how can I say? It wasn't a drag. WrestleMania, actually, this year for me, night one, it didn't, I was surprised how quick it felt that we got to the main event. Feel like a drag for me, man. I was tired, bro. Like, really, I wanted to go to sleep, but it kept me up. So that's a good thing, man. But I'm expecting night two to be a much better show. On paper, it seems like night and day. All the important championship matches are happening tonight, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. But the only thing that I didn't like is what you brought up with the main events and the Seth Drew match, including, with Cody and Roman. Because now they've made it too obvious in both matches, both title matches. If they go, if they stay, the course, it's dead obvious. Cody has to win and Seth has to lose. It's just the way it is. Oh, Gunther, Sami Zayn. Thank you, Yo Jimbo, by the way, for reminding me. I'll be honest, man.
What the fuck is he talking about? Worst matches of all time. I don't even have to watch it to know it's not that. Like, are you kidding?
That?
Do you not watch any WrestleMania matches, Yo Jimbo? What's wrong with you?
Nah, I can see what he's saying. I wasn't happy, though, with that match. I'll be honest. Maybe it's a Jimbo thing. I don't know. But, yeah, there's something off about that match, dude. I'll admit that. I actually didn't like the way Gunther lost. If you watch the match, you understand what I mean. It was obvious that Sami was going to win, but that build could have been done so much better. I know they told a good cinematic type of story, on Raw and whatnot with Chad Gable, but I felt that was rushed. It could have been told a lot better.
They missed so many opportunities to do things that would have made it interesting.
Right.
And then they didn't even, then they just ripped off Rocky 3. Like, they just line for line, they
Rocky
ripped it
4,
off. Rather
pretty
than,
much, actually. It was Drago. Gunther was Drago.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Well, the I'm Afraid line was Rocky 3, but
that's true.
I just one of the things Gable should have said was, if you really wanted to, like, it was right there, because we all saw the shoulder thing where his shoulders weren't up, and he was like upset about it, and he could have said, like, he could have told Sammy, he's like, why don't you think I can win? He's like, because you couldn't even beat me, and he's like, what are you talking about? It's like, my shoulders weren't even down, Sammy. You didn't, like, you could have had some real interesting character stuff there, but instead they went with the cheesy montage and all this other shit. But neither here nor there. I mean, I just don't like the idea of, I mean, why beat Gunther for this? Sammy's already been the Intercontinental Champion for one thing.
Right,
twice,
it's a downgrade. Yeah, at least.
And,
it's a downgrade. Especially after last year's run, dude. Let's be real.
Yeah, and they're probably gonna give him a shot with the main title, so it's better if he had been undefeated up to this point.
And that's what I don't understand. You're going to give him that, and I get it, it's Gunther, right? But you're going to give him the sort of underdog storyline. But after what he went through last year, you can't do that 2 times over, because he went against the big dog last year. Gunther's not Roman, right? Like, on paper, he's not Roman. Like, Roman's really the big boss of the current WWE. The Continental Championship is fine and all. But like you said, you think Sammy deep down in his heart of hearts was satisfied with that? He said publicly, I want to have a chance to be the man. Let me run with the ball. Give me the ball and let me run with it. He really does want that world championship, for real. And I just felt like when you see Kevin Owens hugging him and shit, I just felt like, oh man, both of you guys know you aren't really happy with your positions right now. I've heard them both say it publicly. That's how they feel. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a little bit of a slap to Seth and a slap to Gunther, because Gunther didn't need to lose, really, to Sammy. You know what I mean? And Sammy didn't need to be into it. Does nothing for Sammy at all. I'm telling you, it just doesn't. You know what I mean? Because you're just giving him, like this, actually at this point, the third sort of prize, not the first or second at that. You know what I mean? Not even a world heavyweight championship run. So I feel it's a bit, look, man, we don't see you as world champion material, but here, you're Intercontinental champion material. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the only thing that offends me, and the match could have been done better.
It is a big deal, because more than the title, just the fact that, he's the one to finally beat this guy. Like, I can understand that. I understand what they're thinking. But what that tells me is that he's not figured into those main event plans anytime soon. That's basically what you're saying. So,
and he knows that.
And that's the problem. But Walter is. So now he's going to go on, but he's going to have that one loss, and everybody's going to be like, why did you lose to Sami Zayn? And that's fine, because, Sammy needs to have that one big win, but I would have rather had him do it. If you really wanted to make it mean something, you would have done it. If you lost this match, then you could have had him challenge for the real title whenever Walter eventually gets that. And if he wins that match, then that means something.
That's telling a story right there. But they fucked it.
But they've already fucked that up. It's too late now. So, there you go.
And that's long-term storytelling too, which makes total sense.
Right. And it's disappointing, but I don't know what they actually have planned. I'm only going off what makes sense to me. So if they have a different plan in mind, there could be a reason why they didn't do it. But for all the people that are saying it should have been Gable, same exact fucking thing. You want to talk about a guy that's, he supposedly he's more credible. I'm sorry.
Why?
Am I imagining this, or the match that he had that he promised he would win and his daughter cried and everything? Wasn't the stipulation like he couldn't challenge for that title ever again if he lost? I thought they put one of those on there.
Yeah,
Am I just remembering that?
No, I think you're right. But I recall that too. I don't know if it was that match or the one after where he won by countout, if you remember. Because he never had the opportunity after that. I remember when he tried to take on Gunther again. Do you remember how he tried to challenge him recently? And then Sammy got that spot. Gunther was like, no. You're not having a shot ever again. You know what I mean? I remember him saying that recently, and that's how Sammy, got into it. And obviously Gable was a little upset. And they had a match, the two of them, where Sammy beat Gable. But like Cold Blooded said, though, Oh yeah, I forgot.
I mean, maybe I'm just look.
No,
A lot of this
recall
stuff
that
runs
too.
together, so I could be confused about that. But I could have sworn that he begged for that match, and Gunther was like, "Why should I?" And he's like, "Because." And he's like, "All right, I'll give it to you, but if you lose." He's like, when I beat you, you can never challenge me again. I thought that was a thing that happened, but apparently everybody just forgets after a while. It doesn't matter. Either way, the point is, it's not really about whether Sammy's credible or not. Because in this universe, the way Sami Zayn has been booked since he got there in NXT is that on a given night, he has the ability to beat anybody. So that part of it is not an issue. The issue is, you're looking at the bigger picture, you're missing out on a lot of things you can do with all these guys. And that's unfortunate.
And Sammy's he's a great underdog guy to tell that story. And I think he knows that. But you're right. It's little things, Vet, that WWE should have known better. Like you said, they could have done it the other way, but think long term. Even if the fans don't see it yet, even if the fans were pissed about it, just say, they would have made up for it with the long-term plan, but for whatever reason, either they don't believe he's world championship material, because that's what this tells me, period. He just doesn't figure. They already gave him his WrestleMania main event last year. Be happy. Punk wanted that spot, right? More than him being champion. So be fucking grateful. That's how it feels like, dude. And here's your reward, the second-rate championship. Love it and appreciate it, basically, and that's that. You know what I mean?
He won the you get to be the first guy to beat Walter championship.
Oh yeah, good on him. Congratulations. It just didn't feel. It felt almost like, really. You know what I mean? Even though we all knew that's what was going to happen, it was very predictable. This WrestleMania night one was extremely predictable. The only surprise for me was A-Town Down Under becoming your new SmackDown tag team champions. I'm actually surprised that they went with them. Yeah. I was shocked, bro. I was like, wow.
Wait, so they split the championships?
They split the championships, but they never told you the stipulation.
Right, they never did.
I'm there, so I'm like, hang on a minute. So they pulled it down pretty fast. They pulled down the SmackDown belts, I kid you not, and they announced them as your new SmackDown champions or tag team champions. I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing here. This is such a roundabout way of splitting the championships without actually saying anything. It was almost a pretend you never saw what was going on previously. Yeah, nothing.
They don't
happened.
have enough tag teams to be two shows champion. Whatever, man. All right, fine.
Yeah, there you go. You see, that's the only thing that actually surprised me. Other than that, everything else was standard. But it was an enjoyable show. I enjoyed it.
All right, you enjoyed it. Well, speaking of the opposite of an enjoyable show, we had a collision last night. Now, we could be the only people on Earth talking about Collision today, Jimmy. It's possible. Because who else is going to even have the time? Who else is even going to have the inclination? Who else is going to talk about Collision? Only us. We are making history right now, and all of you guys here with us, you're taking part in this history. Okay, this will be more historic than Gunther's first loss.
We're jamming right now, Vet, as a matter of fact. We got a lot of viewers, and again, we keep growing every week, so thank you, everyone, in the chat for continuously come, even if we're talking Collision on a night where no one is talking about Collision.
Yep. Well, we're not going to talk about it for long, so
let's do it.
So we're kicking off with FTR versus Top Flight, which has been penciled in over the scratched out Ricky Starks and Big Bill, who are supposed to be in this match.
What the fuck happened?
Well, we talked about it last week. Ricky Starks forgot to kick out of two things after he got fucked up.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It's true.
So
but we're going to pretend that never happened. And can I quickly say something? Sorry to interject, but I thought of you straight away, even though last week I didn't really notice it. But God damn it, is Darius, whatever the hell his name is he getting fatter and fatter every week?
Dad-bodius?
Oh my God. He's got bitch tits, dude. It's bad, actually. His stomach, too. Like, he's got a fat ass as well, suddenly. What the hell's going on with him, dude?
I don't know. Let's hope he
I'm
gets
sorry.
back on that road to
Jesus.
health and wellness.
Oh my God, bro. Talk about like not taking care of yourself. Like, his tights look just, dude, I don't know, man. Start running.
Yep.
Do something. I don't know, man.
I mean, he's flying, right? It's top flight, so he's always flying. So there's really no resistance there, no cardio. He's just flying through the air. So, he's got to hit those. He's got to hit the pavement, to get the heart rate.
That's why I texted you. I'm like, dude, he's fat ass. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
Yep.
Like, what? Yeah, that really surprised me, man, even more. But yeah, sorry. Continue on though, Vet.
All right. Well, I mean, Top Flight lost the match they weren't ever supposed to be in the first place. So FTR goes on. It's very clear it'll be them and the Bucks in the finals of the tag team tournament now. So,
are you excited, Vet?
Oh, so excited. And Muffin Top Flight, a good one, cold blooded. Hurt, I'm old, I'm fucking tired, and I work with fucking children. So yeah,
Muffin Top Flight, I like it.
Yeah, everybody knew there was a 0% chance of Top Flight winning this. Not even if they had legitimately beat Starks and Big Bill, they weren't going to win this match. So, yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. But
I mean,
all right,
cool.
well,
no, really, it's predictable, as you said. Sorry to not really say much, but the only thing I took away from this match was, muffins. One of the Top Flight guys enjoys their muffins. That's it. That's pretty much. What is it? What's the significance of this match, really? Like, other than
the significance
spot.
is you go to be a champion.
Cool.
Well, I mean, you asked.
I know, but really, like, it just didn't feel like a big deal.
It's a tournament.
Kid.
That's like saying, what's the significance of the Sweet 16?
I know.
Well, we're trying to get it down to the 8.
Sweet 16, dude, is a bigger deal than friggin' AEW Tag Team Championships. Let's be real.
It sure is.
I'm just saying.
So speaking of big deals, they do a package on Okada that they mentioned to us was written by Matt and Nick Jackson.
And he turned up in a Ferrari, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that? Do you reckon that's actually his? $4 million a year, apparently. He hired it, true.
Yeah, come on. Just rent it.
God,
just rent it and don't smash the glass in it. Okay?
Yeah. And especially real glass. Just saying.
Okay, so this transitions to Pac, that bastard, versus a guy named Encore Moore.
I laughed at that. When I saw that, I was like, really? I get it, but really? Poor Encore Moore. I don't want to see an encore of Moore anymore. Just quietly.
I don't think you are.
Please.
Yeah, they I think they said he had wrestled 3 matches in AEW. I don't remember none of them.
I've never seen him. I would have remembered that name. I'm never going to forget that name.
Right.
So that's a positive. Encore Moore.
Yeah, okay, so we're already got one positive in the books here.
Yeah.
Huh. Is that fat or PHAT? Todd, you're gonna have to hit your hit the live button on your YouTube feed. You are behind.
Literally.
Yeah. So, but anyway, after Pac dispatches of Encore Moore, he gets on the mic and makes the call out for Okada. So he wants to challenge Okada for the Continental title.
Are you even hyped? Did he look yellow today, Pac? He looks like he's got jaundice, dude, suddenly.
He could. Is that part of the gimmick, or is he really unhealthy?
Well,
I think it's probably just his fake tan.
Is that if that's a fake tan, dude, don't go to the $2 shop or some shit like that to buy a fake tan. I'm just saying, because it's not going to be brown, it's going to be yellow. But in saying that, can I ask you a serious question? I've thought about this long and hard. What's a pack?
What's a pack?
Or pack? Pack?
Is it his what was it in reference to like his abs at one point?
Really?
I don't know.
Is that what it was?
Look, I don't know.
So what?
This man is Aaron Neville to me, okay? or Adrian
Me too.
Neville. Excuse
I
me,
agree.
not Aaron
Adrian
Neville.
Neville.
Not classic
Mighty
R&B
Mouse
singer.
pal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not classic R&B singer Aaron Neville. Sorry, no, I meant Adrian Neville, the man that gravity
Can you
forgot.
imagine? Oh, they definitely gravity definitely forgot him because, as you see in this match, he decided not to, do his arrow, black arrow, whatever he calls it. He's liking cross faces apparently now, Vet.
Yeah, Encore More is not worthy of a black arrow.
Well, have you noticed though? Every time he does the black arrow, even from back in WWE, is it just me? Does he second guess him doing that move every time? Like, I could break my neck if I fuck it up. It really looks like that before he does it, man. Where he's really second guessing himself. And if he is, then don't do it anymore.
Well, with a move like that, you better make sure you set it up. And that's going to come into play a couple of things later on this show. But, for him, he's not one of those guys that generally lands on people's faces. So maybe he should just keep doing that.
Maybe.
So, yeah. All right. Renee and Danielson have a little interview in the back. This is like slightly different than they normally do.
She was a little flirtatious in these interviews, or is it just me?
She's always like that. Well, unless unless it's a heel or something.
Maybe. I couldn't help but notice she was taller than a few of the guys. Maybe it's the heels, but
Maybe. Okay, now it's time for Lion Hook versus STP.
Cool. Lion Hook.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not digging this right now. It's making Hook look, I don't know, I'm just not liking that. They don't know how to book anybody at this point. Why are you doing this? Why are they doing? I was afraid. Actually, we'll get to that. Continue. I'll say it when we get there.
Well, I mean, the match was, it
was all right.
I paid more attention to it than the FTR match because
me too.
I've got a personal interest in this.
That first match was literally pretty long. Shouldn't have gone that long, but anyway.
Yeah, other than like a little bit of laziness by like Chris Jericho in this, and the fact that like him doing that lion salt right before the hot tag completely killed the hot tag. Other than that, it was fine. I liked, again, Shane Taylor looked good in this match, and he's doing his best.
And what happened though, dude?
Well,
he's a loser. Again.
But this time it was Lee Moriarty because he got caught in the walls of Jericho and he tapped out. So
did you see that mess up actually, speaking of the walls of Jericho, where Hook was, supposed to put the kata hajime, whatever you wanted the what does he call it these days again?
Red rum.
Red rum, that's it, right? He didn't do it like he was doing it. It's almost like Jericho said, go do this, like do that instead. And he got up and attacked the other guy, whatever.
Told him he can't do it because it's.
Oh, so it was all right every other time, but now it's not.
No, it wasn't all right any other time, but maybe this referee actually tries to do his job. I mean, obviously, even if Lee gave up, you can't count a submission if two guys are on you. It's kind of not fair.
It kind of looks weird too. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah,
kind of looks like he's teabagging him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
one's teabagging while the other one's sitting on his butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like shenanigans.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, he does give up, and then randomly, Anthony Ogogo attacks out of nowhere. So, is he part of Shane Taylor Promotions? I don't know. So, Anthony Ogogo, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, this is the guy that challenged America's freedom in a match with Cody Rhodes
yeah.
and Cody, because Cody and Brandy's baby ended racism in the South. So
in the South,
so this guy came from the United Kingdom.
Yep.
To get revenge for the Revolutionary War and all that stuff, right? Like that's this guy, right? This is the guy.
That's this guy. This is the Go-Go.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just making.
You know what's ridiculous about this? First of all, you're gonna just do that. We're gonna pretend we haven't seen this guy for 3 years. It feels like at this point, like really, like come on, man. This is dumb. This is just dumb. I don't care. He can go his ass on out of here. The fact that he's even getting paid still is amazing. He was
crazy.
a great boxer, though. I will say that until his eye
He
got
was so
busted.
great, he became a wrestler.
Well, that's because he can't box anymore because he's blind technically in one eye.
Well, I don't want to. Oh, so everybody should just work off his blind
his
side?
eye. Yeah, that's. But
hear
they
that,
don't want to
Hook?
acknowledge that now. Yeah, exactly.
Get around him, do the drop step on his blind side, and then throw his ass.
But you know what's even more annoying? The fact that he's using his boxing skills in a wrestling match just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't use it because he's never been here. He hasn't been here since Cody beat him 3 years ago.
Tell me honestly, when was the last time this guy was around? It's 3 years ago.
He's not around. Labrat says, I didn't even know Anthony was still at the AEW. Was he stuck in Tony's office all this time? No, you know what it was? He was in the office on the scale, and the Big Show was trying to get the scale to line up, and he's been doing that for the past 3 years. That's how long it took Big Show to try to get that scale to work.
Man,
that's hilarious. There are people at home rolling on the floor laughing if anybody remembers that. But nobody remembers this guy and nobody cares. Speaking of a guy that nobody remembers and trying to care, we get a Dustin Rhodes vignette. He wants to finish his story too. He didn't have one. He just now wrote one, but he wants to finish it. So he challenged Samoa Joe for the championship.
And I love Joe's promo, actually, what he initially said, but we'll get to that point also. Yeah, I don't like it. You know why? Because you're being petty, AEW. You're just doing it. You're trying to ride the Cody wave. How dumb are these people? Like, it's just,
bringing
guy.
Anthony Ogogo out, bringing his brother out.
And who feuded with Cody, mind you, on top of that. Like
MJF's coming back. That's how you know. We'll play all of Cody's greatest hits.
Yeah. Well, he got a big pop, actually, this past Wednesday. Just saying. And have they not been mentioning that name, Cody's name, what feels like 3 weeks straight, at least, if not more? They're really fucking, like, are they in denial, Vet? It's a serious question. Are they in denial? Do they think somehow that Dustin really is Cody, and then they realize it's not Cody and he's not here anymore? I mean, the face of your opposition, right? Think about this. The man right now, in many ways, is Cody for WWE. Like, he's the PR machine. He's perfect for it, to be the face of the company, right? They had this guy. They had him not long ago, right? Really. Man, it must burn. It must really burn when Tony, tunes into the USA Network on Monday nights or on Fox every Friday and sees Cody and even Punk. Sorry, I had to say it too. I mean, it must burn, dude. Because I know it burned me, straight up.
It's a good thing if he can just, look, there's a lot of things that people just don't learn until they finally do. So
right.
If he needs all these wake-up calls to finally get it, then that's a good thing. It'll end up being a good thing in the long run. But,
absolutely.
I mean, and it's harder for him to learn any lessons when every time a Punk steps out the door, then here comes an Edge, it's going to feel like you're not losing anything, right? It just feels like things stay the same.
Right. But in his mind, he thinks he made well, if I'm going to lose this guy, I bring in Edge. I'm sorry, but Edge hasn't been a success thus far, in my opinion, in AEW. So, whatever.
But he's
not
TNT
Punk.
champion.
I don't give a freaking... Blow it up. Seriously, it's the TNT, right? Blow it up. It's a bomb. It's a fucking... Just blow it up. That's it.
Should have the little plunger with dynamite on the belt.
Can you imagine that? Like the little plunger.
Yeah.
That's what they got to do, bro. Like put the plunger. Boom goes the dynamite, right?
Yep.
There you go. It sells itself.
Boom goes the AEW dynamite. Well, guess what? We don't have to worry anymore because
is that?
we got the second best British guy since Anthony Ogogo next. It's Will Ospreay. And he's just sitting on a box like Lil Wayne and Renee.
Don't even get me started on Lil Wayne. I
Renee,
forgot about him.
Renee is interviewing Ospreay, and they're just chatting it up, having a good old time.
Bruv, just saying, right? He looked, was it just me or did Ospreay look dead tired? I mean, he looked thrashed, dude. Let the guy get some sleep, Tony, please. He looks like
transatlantic flights are very long.
Oh my God. Seriously, he looked pretty buggered, dude. Like, I'm just saying, his eyes look like they haven't shut in days. I don't know if he's having a run with TK, if you get my drift. I don't know what's going on. But seriously, bruv, get some sleep. Look, I like Ospreay, Aaron, just saying, he doesn't suck. But I think they're overhyping him a little bit, which is unfair on him. Just let him do his thing and, take it from there. But we'll see.
Well, we've seen him do his thing, and it's the same thing. Once you've seen it, you've seen it.
Once you hear it, too, you've heard it.
Okay, bruv. Dude, bruv.
Yeah.
What year was that Best of the Super Juniors viral clip of him and Ricochet? What year was that?
2016, I think. 2017 even.
So like 8 years ago, right?
It's a long time ago. Yeah.
Okay. In 8 years, what's different? He's put on a little bit of muscle.
That's
decent muscle. And what else?
He's cut down on
and
his
he stole Kyle Fletcher's haircut and forced Kyle Fletcher to get a new haircut.
Yeah. Which looks better, by the way, on Kyle Fletcher, just saying. But and he uses bruv a lot now. Like ridiculously.
Right. So basically what we're saying is like you and I, we're letting you guys know ahead of time. You've already seen Will Ospreay. It will never be any different than this. So if you like it, great. But I hope you like it every single time because there is no different matches. There is no different psychology. There is no learning. There is no
psychology.
It's just the same shit over and over again. He's already at the ceiling.
Psychology though, really.
But hey, if he needs sleep, okay. I suggest House of Black versus Seidel, Christopher Daniels, and big business bounty hunting in Boston, Keith.
Oh my God.
Keith,
not Keith Urban. Oh, sorry.
No.
Anyway, dude, word of advice for little Keithy, the what's it called? The bounty hunter. First of all, you need a lasso. And dude, pull your freaking pants a little lower. It doesn't need to go way over your belly button, for crying out loud.
It does though.
How high?
It does because if his pants go lower, he's gonna have to go on a diet. And you don't want that.
Is it that?
It's better to just pull it up over your gut so you don't have to watch your diet.
So you're saying it's because he feels a little, funny about his little potty down there? Is that what it is? You think that's why he pulls them up that high?
That's the only reason anybody ever does that.
Or is he a Steve Urkel bounty hunter? Like, is he trying to, go that route? Who knows?
Well, if he has suspenders, then you'll know. Do you put suspenders on a poncho? I don't know.
Does that work?
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, well, whatever about this match, but Edge comes out afterwards because he has unfinished business because House of Black.
Okay.
And then Briscoe and FTR come out to help too, and they beat him up. And then the Bucks come out, and then they get in a brawl with FTR, and eventually the heels just powder and leave.
Cool. Not looking forward to that match. But Edge is, not finished though for the evening, but we'll get there also.
Nope.
He's not.
Okay, Lex. Okay, I forgot about this. Lexi's with Rocky Romero. So in case you are still awake after that match, this will finish the job. Will just watch. I know you're very familiar with Rocky Romero, so you're probably extra already bored with him. So this should just about be the nightcap you need to go to sleep once and for all. He's going to challenge Roddy Strong. And then the entire Undisputed Kingdom comes in off screen to accept the challenge. And then there you go. I
love Rocky, man. I've got a soft spot for him, right? I even like Chico.
You like him.
No, really, I do. I actually like him
Heh.
as a person. Not really the.
Let's all
the
laugh
wrestler.
at Jimmy for liking Rocky Romero, chat. Come on, laugh
It's
at
just
him.
because of New Japan, and I'm actually, I don't mind Chico, our luchador. If anyone doesn't know who that is, it's his alter ego, which is kind of funny. But that's neither here or there. But in terms of my television screen, do we need to see him? Like, really? Why has he still got an eye patch when he takes it off? What does that even mean when you take it off?
He's unleashed his power. He has
What,
to wear the
like-
eye patch. He has to wear the eye patch to handicap himself because his power is just overwhelming.
Well, then, if that's the case, where's his backpack? Do you remember Roppongi Vice when he used to come out with the, I don't know, it was probably like a fire, what do you call it? It was like a Ghostbusters pack.
I got a suggestion real quick.
What's that?
Stop talking about him immediately and move on.
Okay, all right, fine.
Lexi is with Lion Hook, and now that the odds have changed, they're going to need a third man, and Hook's got a third man. He's already got one. He's already got one.
He does.
And here he is.
You know what I was expecting? I was waiting for Danhausen. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you thought Danhausen too,
I was
right?
waiting for Dan. I was bitterly disappointed when no Danhausen. It would have been extra cool because it would have looked even more of a joke. Lionheart, which already sounds like a Disney movie, just quietly. Does it not? I mean, Lionhook. Did I say Lionheart? Lionhook sounds like a Disney movie. Adding Danhausen, there you go. That's money right there. That's professional wrestling, folks, in 2024.
Danhausen is CM Punk's friend, so I don't think we'll ever see him again.
Yeah, that's true. And we haven't, funny enough. Right. He's cursed himself, apparently.
No, but Hook is taking it a little more seriously this time, and he's brought in Shibata. So,
wait, I was thinking of Kane. I had fucking memories of Kane. I am Kane. Like, come on, dude. My name is Kane. Dude, this is
actually
joke.
That was The Rock that did that.
Oh yeah, he did do that. That's true. And I'm a Rudy Poo candy ass. That's what he said. You're right. But the point is, it gave me those vibes, and also I can't help but think it makes him look like a joke. And Shibata ain't no joke, really. But in AEW, I don't even know anymore, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. But in case you guys weren't aware, he's using the Google Speech Translate or whatever to do his promos.
It's funny, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, bro.
I wonder if that was something he was just doing, and then they were like, hey, that's funny, do that on TV.
Is that racist in your opinion, do you think? Low-key racist?
No.
Because he's Japanese and, they struggle to talk a lick of English, which is true. It is hard for Japanese people for some reason to actually talk English. And no matter how long they've lived in an English-speaking country, they just struggle. It just doesn't work with their way of speaking, I guess. But I don't know, man. I just feel if I was Shibata, it would offend me a little bit. That's just me. Only because this guy is supposed to be a hard-hitting, no BS, real deal pro wrestler, right? But here in AEW, he comes across as a clown. I'm sorry. He's a clown. My English is very good. Yes, Retro. I see you there. Don't worry.
I mean, I don't. I mean, most of the time he doesn't do this.
He's done it before, though.
Yeah, he's done it before. So it's like a little something funny once in a while. But I don't think he's been presented as a clown. That's the
Not
thing.
yet,
like, here's what people say. If somebody just comes out there, they're like, why is this guy on my screen? Who is he? I never heard of him. And these guys have no character. They have no story. They have no nothing. They just come out and have wrestling matches and all this other stuff. Then when they do something that has character, they're like, this is stupid. Why is this person doing this? It's racist. It's just, like it's a joke or.
But really, what is the character that, like, what would you, how would
it's
you?
It's not a character.
Exactly.
It's just a gag. So what?
Okay. Whatever. He's a gag for now. I like Chibata, man, and I don't want to see him in the ring all the time. To be fair, that's only because of his issues. But I don't know, man. He could be presented a little fucking better. He doesn't even need to talk anyway. Really,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Well, you know who does need to no, actually she doesn't need to talk. Well, we got Trish Adora's back with the infantry. And she's taking on the legendary Yuka Sakazaki.
The legendary.
You remember her.
She's not a genie. Don't call her genie Yakazaki.
Magical girl.
Magical girl. Well,
I
she
just
looks
like hearing
different.
Tony Schiavone say magical girl 20 times.
Can I ask you a question? You might know this because I don't. Now, I like Trish Adora, right? I really do. I think she's cool. But I'm sorry to say this is going to sound like I'm a prick. But she gives me stripper vibes, right? And then I noticed the dollar bill on the side. What's up with that? Can you explain that to me? Because I don't know what the significance of that dollar note that's on the side of her tights, whatever you want to call it. Why? When she already gives me stripper vibes.
I don't know. She's supposed to give you military vibe.
Well, I'm sorry. When you got a dollar bill and
Are you sure the
already give
dollar
me
wasn't camouflage?
It was not. I'm telling you, dude. Look at that. It was a note. I don't know if it was a dollar bill. But it was definitely a note. 100%. I don't know why, but it makes me think maybe she was a stripper.
Well, here's what's funny. When I saw this match, I was like, oh, I guess Trish Adora is going to get a win today.
Ah, please. Jeez.
Boy, did I forget.
Magic girl, vet. Remember that. She's got magic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
I'm
look,
sorry.
One of these women is playable in AEW Fight Forever, and one of them's not. So
that's true.
it just goes to show you.
Oh no.
So yeah, that was kind of weird. I kind of thought, yeah, but no.
Okay, so because she's money. Thank you, Todd. That's why you're the Comic King. I'm hoping that's the case, even though I already had different vibes. But anyway, who am I to judge?
Yeah, well, Yuka ends up getting the win here. So
She does.
There you go.
This match sucked bad though, man. Just they got no chemistry, bro.
Yeah. And then Serena Deeb comes out and sort of
Surprisingly?
applauds Yuka for winning the match.
I hope she absolutely destroys Magic Girl if they're facing each other. And how good did she look, dude? I was impressed. She looked amazing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you watch Rampage, Serena had a match with Trish Adora on Rampage, and that match was not good.
Oh,
Which
God.
it's very painful to say it. It was bad, man. It was a really bad
that
match.
bad?
If you thought this match with Yuka and Trish
No,
was
don't
bad,
say it. This was worse?
yes.
Really?
So
Wow.
I don't know what is going on, but that's like two. I will say 2 bad matches in a row for Serena. I don't know what's happening here.
Wow.
I hope everything's all right.
I was just
But
going to ask you that.
she did take some time off again recently, and I don't know why. So I don't know what's up, but hopefully she get it back on track.
I hope she's better too, because that worries me when you say, because she's taken time off again for whatever reason, and we know why, like what her issues were. I just hope she's recovered from that 100%. And I just hope, look, you know her best, obviously. Do you think, considering we saw, you said 2 bad matches, which is unlike Serena Deeb, let's be honest, man. She's one of those, and I'm not saying this because, she's a good friend of you or Ben and whatnot and being biased. It's not that. But we both know, and everybody knows, she can wrestle a damn stick and it can be a 5-star match. That's how good she is, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact that she's had 2 bad matches, which is very unlike her, do you think she's still having issues with what she was going through in recent times, possibly?
I don't know. It shouldn't be an issue.
Right.
Whatever the issues have been, it's not like that's what was happening in the ring. I mean, as far as like when I'm watching the Trish Adora match from Rampage, I'm looking at Trish, and Trish is almost like, it's almost like if I was Trish, I'd be like, "What's going on? I don't know."
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it
So
wasn't.
you're saying that you basically that Trish Adora done nothing wrong, basically. Oh, that's odd, man. That worries me now. I don't know what to say about that. That's because I never saw it, but yeah, that's worrying because that's unlike Serena. That's really unlike her, dude. That's not how she rolls, man. She's that good. So I'm hoping she's whatever's going on, get well ASAP because yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, and then the other match that we saw last was what? That was the Lady Frost one, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, I believe, and that wasn't that good either. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So.
Which is weird because again, Lady Frost is pretty decent these days. You would have thought these two would have been a good matchup, but again, now I'm starting to think there's something's up with Serena, and I'm just hoping, you know.
Yeah, we obviously wish her the best.
Absolutely.
And it looks like Magical Girl's next on the list, so
I hope she destroys.
Come on,
it,
Yuka,
though,
work some
up.
magic. Speaking of
Literally.
magic, Daddy Magic and Garcia get a hallway promo. So
Cool.
if you like those guys.
Honestly, dude, when I was watching this, and you know what? I didn't have the power of the phone at all during Collision for once.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, weird. I actually
Must have been
watched it
rough.
all. It was rough. Very rough.
It must
But
have felt like
at
Will
this
Ospreay.
Dude, I woke up and started watching it. I told D wake me up at 11, right, so I can watch it and then start the show, right? But anyway, by this point, I was just that's all I heard, dude. I didn't
That's
care about
basically
what
all
they
they
saying.
said. I mean,
No, what did they say?
yeah, they just said "Roo, roo, roo, roo."
Well,
I don't
there
know.
you go. Yeah, I
Daniel
didn't care.
Garcia, like, what could he be saying? Something about like he wants to win matches. I don't know.
I was watching it. I don't know. I just wasn't hearing
What
it.
about Claudio versus the Butcher? You watch that?
I did watch that, and can Claudio stop doing Neutron for crying out loud? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know the cartoon, bro. The fucking man, I'm not even a fan of it. D was pointing it out to me. Apparently, he was doing. I think that's his name, Neutron. I don't know, man. I don't watch it, but he was doing Japanese anime shenanigans in the ring. Apparently, I'm talking about Claudio Costagnoli. And as far as Butch, sorry, not Butch. Yeah, Butch, the Butcher, whatever. Dude, didn't he get released?
No.
Are you sure? Because the
There he
Blade
was.
did. Yeah, but that's why I'm asking. Maybe
Obviously
it's just
not.
one off. Sorry about that if you heard that in the background. God damn it. The Xbox just got fired up. Anyway, then the surround sound just went crazy. But anyway, the Butcher, he looks like shit right now, and he looks sunburnt, bro. Badly.
He always looks sunburnt because he can't tan. He keeps
Yeah,
trying.
He looked really like crabby, if you know what I mean, like red as a crab. And when what's it called? Oh my god, I've gone blank, bro. Who was he facing again?
Claudio
Costagnoli, Neutron, Johnny Neutron. I don't even know what the fuck his name is. Anyway, when he stepped on him, kind of thing, with that spot right on his sunburnt, man, that must have hurt, bro. That was a prick, man, to do that. But that would have pissed me off straight up.
I swear there's they must AEW must bring a tanning bed or beds on tour with them because
man, it's cancerous,
I
dude.
always see there was a period of time especially where I would see guys come out and they all were beat red like that.
Yo.
And I'm just like, dude, if you're at the show, it's too late. You had your chance to tan already. You had all week to tan. You don't just get in a tanning bed one time and then you have a tan. It takes weeks and weeks to build that tan. Otherwise, it just looks like you just got left in the steam pot, right?
Literally the steam pot.
Yeah, you are a lobster now.
Dude, they banned him here, funny enough. You can't actually get... Yeah, man. It was always, pun intended, really hot down here. Everyone used to go to... I didn't. I don't need to. I can get tan just being in the sun. But yeah, I knew a lot of people that were doing that. And just the look of him afterwards, man, it's like, I'm not even gonna risk that shit. That shit is bad, for your skin. You can catch cancer like very easily, skin cancer in particular, by using those beds. I don't know if it's still a big deal in the US. I'm assuming it probably is. But at least, you know what? If you can't be bothered using a tanning bed, get a freaking spray tan. That's what everybody uses, right? Just do that.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah, don't be red, be orange.
Be orange. Like MJF orange, especially when he starts spraying himself, dude. Eesh. Someone needs to give him lessons because he overdoes it.
Yeah, he's you can always tell because like even if the tan looks okay, when you
It's
see their
ugly, bro.
hands, the palms of their
Yeah.
hands are like dark brown because they don't
Right.
wash their hands after. Or they don't put on
Friggin'
like
pigs.
gloves or something instead,
And their face, they overdo their face usually too, man.
Yeah. It's
Overdoes it.
it's difficult to get a tan in a bottle that doesn't look weird. But either way, the butcher ain't getting it. So he got the L though. Because
He did.
Claudio ain't gonna lose to the goddamn butcher. No chance. So I don't know why bother. But
Why call yourself the butcher if you're the one getting butchered all the time? I'm just saying.
he probably saw it going differently when he signed his contract.
I'm sure he did. And he's a day one AEW guy. Poor Andy Williams, which is his actual shoot name.
Right. Well, he needs to go back with his shoot band and go back on tour.
Hey, he's a legend, dude. No shit. If anyone doesn't know this, he's one of the pioneers, as a lead guitarist in death metal. Legit. Like, he really is. Look him up. He's actually a musician first, then a wrestler, believe it or not. But anyway.
All right, so next we get a vignette with Julia and Dark Sky.
Yeah, that's Julia with a J, just quietly. Not the
J,
better Julia.
Not a G,
Yeah,
Julia.
not the G. Not the OGG.
Dark
Julia. Dark Julia. Can we get the belt off this woman at this point? Seriously? No.
She's the forever TBS champion.
Oh, well, whatever, man. They've
champion.
dark TBS.
Dark Sky. Didn't even talk in this. She just stood there.
Well, that's her thing, right? She looks weird. She stands there acting creepy.
She does this.
I hate that, bro. Is she a rabbit? Is that what's going on?
Yep, she's a cute little bunny.
Yeah, a dark bunny. Sounds like a movie.
Easter's over,
Sorry.
bitch.
Why? Why would you do that to me, Vet? That is fucking golden. That was brilliant.
Dark
Easter
50%
is
off
bitch.
Easter candy. Clearance.
Oh, fuck. Easter is over. That is such a great line, man. Look at my eyes, bro. It's no shit. That is good. Dude, that is the line of the year already, and it's only April. Straight up. That was good.
Dark line.
Dark line at price line.
I don't get to see Dark Sky that much, so I just like when she's on there, I want to do
Can't
the
see.
voice. She makes me want to do the voice. So I got to get the most out of it,
No, but come on, Dark Easter. He's fucking good. Or Easter ended fucking, last week. Bitch. But no, really, she doesn't even need to talk at this point. I mean, maybe she can't see in the dark, really.
Especially
Maybe
if she's
that's
not gonna
why.
sound like this.
If they start doing that out of the blue, no shit, that's it.
It's so
I'm
it's-
fulfilled.
Well, it's got to the point where she's not on as much, or at least not on Collision as much as she used to be. So now, it's a good thing Roxanne Perez turned heel. So now I can use Dark Roxanne.
Yeah, I know. I was actually listening to the Next Level podcast this past Wednesday. The whole thing, man. And shout out to Chris Silvio, man. And check out his documentary, by the way. How much was it? Like $3, $4? It's nothing, right?
$4.99.
There you go. $4.99. You will not be
It's
disappointed.
cheaper than clearance Easter candy.
Yeah, from Dark Easter Bunny Sky. But no,
chocolate.
sorry. Dark chocolate. Hey, I like dark chocolate. But anyway, it's probably better that we do talk chocolate than this shit. But in saying that,
Todd Brantley
Please continue.
says, "I wouldn't mind being in the dark with Dark Sky."
you creep.
Not
You're a
nighttime.
creep,
I
Todd.
want the lights on.
Yeah.
I want to see.
I think not in the dark. What about Julia though, Todd? With a J, that is. Julia with a J. You're not happy with her? You're dark, Julia. But anyway, these
All right.
do you even recall her being TBS champion at this point? I don't.
Yes.
Dark
Yeah,
Roxanne is
of
better
course,
anyway.
of
That's
course.
true.
Long title reigns are a cool thing now. So, of course, I remember she's the.
Long. Does she defend the butt? Oh, she doesn't even defend it, bro. Like, come on.
Yes, she does, and she's going to defend it against what's her name?
What? What's her name? Is that her name?
Yeah, the chick. No.
The chick. Yeah. What's her name? The chick. That's her gimmick. What's her name? The chick. Anyway, I couldn't care less. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah, what
This
was
belt
it?
doesn't mean
Somebody
anything at
challenged
this
her
point.
for the belt, right? That's what this promo was kind
I
of
don't even
about,
remember
actually.
at this point because was it? Again, all I was hearing is he's the bunny in the dark. Do you remember that show in the dark house in the dark moon? Do you know what I'm talking about? When we were kids. I forgot what it's called, man. But I don't know. I'll show you a clip one day. That's what they should do for her.
Trapdoor.
Was it the trapdoor? Apparently it was called the trapdoor. If no one knows it, look it up. And what happened to Dark Willow? At one point, wasn't she sort of... I remember she got sprayed on. She was growing that.
She overcame the darkness. She probably ate
How? Oh, shit. I didn't say it. He did. Just quite... Anyway, she probably did eat it. There you go. I said it. And there goes the darkness. No more dark.
it. Yeah, that's it. I don't know why everybody else didn't think of that. I think Malachi Black's still suffering. He should just try eating it.
He should. And why is his growth stopped? That growth should have spread throughout his body. I mean, like all the way down to his legs at this point. Thing overcame it too. There's another one.
Yeah. So Samoa Joe cuts a promo and he's answering Dustin.
I like
He's
this.
basically,
Right.
yeah, he's like, yeah, you ain't getting a title shot. I'll beat
As
you
he
up.
shouldn't. Right. He shouldn't get a title shot because why should he? Did he earn it?
Though. Yeah, he didn't earn it. What's
He
his
didn't earn
record?
Shit. Heart beats me. He's Dark Elevation. Sorry. Dark Elevation. Is that even still a thing?
No, they can't.
I know it's not. I know. But you know what? At this point, they should bring it back because it'd be a lot of darkness.
Yeah. I don't know if they like it, the dark stuff as much as we do. I think
I'm sure they don't.
maybe if they embrace the darkness.
Yeah, but you know what? I've got an idea for Tony and AEW. Bring back Dark, right? And have the lights out while having matches. There you go. No one has to see the bullshit. And we can just hear the fun shit. That's it. Don't have to watch it, though. You can just hear it. That's money right there. Dark. Like Speed, the counter Speed, you know, WWE Speed. They can call it AEW Meth in the Dark. I don't know, man. Do something like that. You know, fuck.
How dumb is that Speed show?
Why are they doing? Whose idea was this, man?
I don't know, but they should be released. Whoever's idea it was.
Oh shit!
I mean, if I could just beat anybody I wanted in 3 minutes or less, then why would I have a longer match?
Look, I know there's been one episode, I believe. I haven't watched it yet, but is it actual names that are in these matches, or are they lower mid card guys?
It was like Ricochet and Bronson Reed and like guys like that. Like they're having a tournament to crown a Speed champion, but
what, a Speed champion? Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, so
what does that mean?
Okay, so it's like, yeah, I don't know. You can't. If you have a 3-minute time limit, but you don't have a time limit for every single other match that you have, so what's the normal time limit? 20? 30?
Right. On 60? Average? Something.
I mean, no, we just don't have one. We don't have any time limits until it's a Speed match. Then you have 3 minutes. And then if you can get a clean finish, and look, if you're going to have the only way you can have a show like this is if every single match ends in a time limit draw. because nobody
As it
has
should.
matches in 3 minutes. The Divas era had matches in 3 minutes. This is supposed to be guys that you supposedly want to push. So
Yeah, push straight off the edge, literally. It seems like, because it wouldn't make sense if you're going to have these guys say face each other on Raw, SmackDown, for example, after they face each other on a speed show, right?
yeah,
And it's going to be dumb, especially if one of the guys is going over, for example, on speed, but yet on Raw, SmackDown, it takes 20 minutes to get over that same person. That would be pretty dumb. But I don't know, man. I don't understand the concept. I don't know what this means. Why would you call it speed? I know why, but it's just a shitty name. Because you can say all sorts of shit to give it shit. And I dare say it won't actually last long, this show. As these type of shows that WWE try, never do.
no, because it's all on X. So like if you're scrolling your Twitter feed and you see something that's gonna last 3 minutes, are you seriously gonna watch that?
No,
It's Twitter.
Why would I? I'm
You're gonna
not
keep
never going to
scrolling,
watch
right?
it. Right, exactly.
Because these things came up on my thing as like ads. Because I don't follow WWE
Really?
and I don't follow anything else. But you know how Twitter will put an ad in your timeline if somebody
Right.
promotes it. So the speed matches came up in my timeline. I just scrolled right the fuck past them. I ain't watching.
Well,
that
I
shit.
followed
You kidding me?
WWE, right? And I didn't even get the speed matches in my timeline. So, how's that? That's weird.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of something I wish was only 3 minutes, it's
Yeah.
time for the main event.
Yes, we made it.
Which is Penta versus Commander.
Okay. I came away with a couple of weird things in this match. One, were they flirting with each other? Commander seemed a little flirty, and then Penta was like, "No, stupid, I'm not a poofta." And he slaps him. No shit, and then just punished him. And also, what is he the commander of? I'm still trying to figure it out.
The ropes, probably.
Oh, he's a commander of the. I see. That's who he is. So where's what's the other guy? The other space, the guy that walks like this, gravity, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. What happened to him? Did he get lost in space?
Oh, he was one of the 10 releases.
Was he? Was he part of that? Okay, I didn't know that. Who else? I only heard about 4 releases. When did the others get released?
Same time. A lot of
Okay.
a lot of Ring of Honor people that weren't even being used
Well,
on that.
The only one that surprised me, honestly, was Dasha. Only because they were still using her up until last week. And then they released her. So, yeah. Who cares? But this match, I didn't care. This is not a main event. This is pathetic, actually. This felt like Rampage. Honestly, this was Rampage.
Rampage might have been even better. I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Labrat says, does Tony really think this is the card to go with during WrestleMania? Well, I mean, why waste anything?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because
there's
he's
no point,
delusional.
no point in trying.
Well, yeah, let's be real. The ratings will be at a record, surely a record low this week.
It's
for Collision.
WrestleMania and preempted. It's like out of
And
its time
preempt-
slot and WrestleMania's on. There's
It
no
was-
way.
The late Collision. And I'm telling you, they collided with a wall, not WWE. Just saying.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, you know, but this is so there's a couple problems with this. Number one, the match itself, they did a Spanish fly and like landed on, like Commander almost landed on his head.
He's a fool. Commander sucks, dude. He can't wrestle, man. Straight up.
And then
I don't care if he can run ropes.
Then they did a spot where, like, right after that, they do an apron. They do a destroyer on the apron, and Commander lands on the floor and doesn't fall down. He just staggers after taking a Canadian destroyer on the apron. He just staggers onto the floor, and then Penta goes after him, like probably like, "Bitch, why aren't you taking a bump?" And then
Yeah, I felt like
and
he
then
was punishing him at one
Commander
point.
backdrops him, so it's obviously a spot. But they did a double down off of that, which, you know, I don't even need to explain what's wrong with that. Everybody here should know that.
Right.
But these guys should know it. I don't understand, like, what they don't get about it. There's no hope for Commander. Let's say that.
Right.
Penta,
At this
of
point,
course,
even Penta.
yeah, he's got a lot to offer, and if somebody would just point him in the right direction and
Absolutely.
sand down a few rough edges, you know, he could be in a main event with anybody.
Absolutely. Hey, man, he's regressed, dude, in
Yeah,
AEW. He really has.
But doing shit like this, it's not good. It reminds me why I don't like Lucha Libre. And I like everything about Lucha Libre except the actual Lucha Libre part. I like the luchadors. I like the masks. I like some of the moves and everything else. But in the presentation, I just don't like their matches because of shit like this. And as for the messed up Spanish Fly, like Commander is one of those guys that's like, okay, he's known for being able to walk the ropes or things like that, or do these kind of like athletic moves and nothing else. Cause he's not big. Right. He looks like any other wrestler as far as his mask and whatever. Like he just some guy. The only thing that's special about him is that he can do some of these things. But if that's what you're known for, and 50% of the time you still mess it up, there's a problem there.
Maybe he should be doing stunts in movies instead of being a wrestler.
I wouldn't want to do that because he'd mess up the stunt, hurt one of my actors.
He would. He actually probably would. You're right. Yeah, he sucks, dude. He just sucks. He's not good. He really isn't. Like, he just... Cool, he can run the ropes. Big deal. We've seen it already. That's already, like, out the water. You know what I mean? And even then, it didn't impress me.
No. It's unfortunate. But anyway, Penta does hit the fear factor. But so that's what's wrong with the actual match itself. Okay.
Right.
Now let's talk about the booking of the match. Now, the only reason this match is even taking place is because Penta challenged Edge for the TNT Championship. So now that you've done that, now you have to give this guy a win on television.
Right.
It would have helped if you hadn't jobbed him out to like literally everybody else in this company up to this point. And then now you get him one win against Commander, and that's supposed to be, oh, I don't know. He's a credible challenger.
He's credible, vet.
Yeah. That's the opposite of the long-term booking we were talking about when we were still talking about WrestleMania and stuff. You got a star in Penta and you don't treat him like a star. Then you decide, hey, then Edge comes into your company and he's like, hey, this guy's cool. I want to work with him. And then you're like, oh, okay. We didn't have plans for him like that, but you're Edge, so we'll do whatever you want. And now it looks weird because Penta never wins any matches, but all of a sudden he has to challenge for a championship. So you give him a win. You should have been giving him wins.
Oh, yeah, man. More frequently.
And beating Commander isn't special because I don't think he's gotten a win yet in AEW.
I don't think he has either. Right. No, you're right. I don't think he has. And the thing about Penta, though, which kind of worries me, but I don't really care. I feel like he's phoned it in anyway. He doesn't even care at this point if he's pushed or not. He looks happy, weirdly enough, and just doesn't care, which I don't blame him at this point. Because if I was him, you wouldn't want to care because all it's going to do is let you down, right? So you might as well just, like you say, a la carte. He might as well look at it the same way as a wrestler, dude. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd probably go insane.
I want to look at it a la carte. You're like, oh, I like Penta. And so I get this match and I just try to take this match for what it is. But then in the match, fucking Commander almost gets killed because he fucking sucks. Yeah, so like he's ruining it's like somebody spitting in my meal.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got what I ordered, but you spit in it, dude.
Speaking of that, it's funny you brought that up because you know what my fear is about that? When you get DoorDash or some shit, right? And those motherfuckers, I don't know, man. When you get a Whopper from Burger King and it's got the white sauce? Every time I get a DoorDash or whatever, I look at that and I think, is that... Because I never saw it made.
Jizz in my
Whopper? Dude. Or spat in it. No, don't say jizz. There was a pizza shop here that got busted doing exactly that. I'm not kidding. They used to jizz on the pizza and sell it.
No one thinks you're kidding. Look, if you go...
I'm not kidding. I'm being serious.
I know. I just said nobody thinks you're kidding because...
Right.
Maybe that sounds crazy in Australia, but here in America, we just assume everybody's jizzing in our food all the time. Why would you go out to eat if you didn't expect a little jizz or whatever?
Come on, man. Now I'm put off food for good. Fuck them.
Yeah, never eat again.
They do seal the bags, but I still don't trust it, by the way, Liz. Just saying. You know how they got those stickers that says, whatever it says?
Yeah, there's no way around that. It's a sticker. It's infallible.
Exactly. They should maybe staple it. Oh, no, there's ways around that. You just re-staple it. Anyway, it's just, I don't know. That's the thought. And I'm a weird person, but it's happened to me once before. No shit, dude. At KFC, where my fries got spat on. Mine and my friends, believe it or not, pricks. Years ago. No, my friend was. My friend was actually. Not me, but I ended up getting it as well because of a friend. Thanks, Pete. Just saying. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is a true story. And I've been scarred since.
Yeah. It's a thing. But anyway, that was a collision. It was exactly the right episode to put on against WrestleMania. No effort.
Perfect.
Don't even try. You just try next week. But yeah, man.
I'm expecting better next week, Vet, surely.
Yeah, hopefully more dark sky.
Definitely more dark sky and dark Julia. Oh, she's Dark Bunny now.
Dark
Bunny. She acts like a friggin' bunny, or is that Tourette's? I have no idea, but whatever it is, that's the vibe I get. Solid E. This is definitely an F, dude.
E-.
I feel like you can't go. Look, E's solid, but can we really? It's hard to grade because it was a nothing show, really. Even though they tried to like Edge and all that shit. Even Edge looked like a friggin' headless chook, like we like to say here. If you don't know what chook means, it means chicken. Just saying. Like Edge is just there. Edge loves collision, doesn't he? Clearly, he loves Saturday nights.
Well, they need a former WWE veteran to run the show, so.
Has he? He's another one that just doesn't suit AEW, bro, and he just looks petty there for me.
Yeah, and everything he's done has sucked.
It has, but don't tell him that because he'll tell you it's fun working in AEW. The fact that he stood up for Tony in AEW is kind of surprising. I guess he's, I think he's a top guy.
I bet you nobody even had to tell him to do that. He probably just went out there and did it. He just knew.
For sure. He just knew. And look, they need guys like that. Sometimes you need that sort of, I think it's good for Tony and the morale of the company and the locker room where people are kind of standing up for Tony and AEW. But FTR did the same thing this past Wednesday, which is surprising considering how close they are to CM Punk.
Well, they can always just tell him, hey, don't pay attention to what we're about to say.
And he probably didn't. Yeah, but see, I can see Punk is petty, though. Like, if he felt like, they're buds and they had to respond to that. I don't know about 2024 CM Punk, who seems chill this time compared to previous Phil. But, I can see him sort of being better. The fact that he was running Collision is hilarious to me, though. And all he was doing was, hey, he gave me the power. I'm going to control the show, literally, on who's there. And he basically was the booker of the show, too. Which makes sense because, you know what? When he was around, the shows were absolutely 100 times better. And it's unfortunate because apparently Danielson is the guy that pretty much books this show now, and it just feels like he doesn't know what he's doing, if that's true.
Well, he's busy with his interview with Renee, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cool. He just has no idea. If it's true, he has no idea. If it's TK, clearly he has no idea. And his show's already, unfortunately, because I was so hyped for it. I don't know if this show's going to last, dude. You can't have 2 rampages. I mean, it's becoming like this slowly, like very slowly. It's like a slow kill, bro. Does not feel like that. It's getting worse every week. It really feels like, man. And that worries me.
Well, it's wrestling, so that means every week you have an opportunity to turn it around.
Right, but they just don't care. I feel like they phoned it in at this point. It's not the same feeling. It's not the same show. Does it feel like an A-?
Don't worry, Jimmy. It won't be WrestleMania every week.
True. but it's a PLE every
CM
month.
Punk can't go on Ariel Helwani every week.
Ariel hates AEW and Tony Khan anyway. Let's be honest. We all know that. He doesn't like Tony. Especially, do you remember that debacle when Tony wouldn't answer anything? And then Ariel just decided, he's like, then why are you here? Like, basically, you know what I mean? But, yeah. I'm not, I appreciate you asking me that question, but I can't answer that right now. Thank you, Ariel. Like, really? Get out of here, Tony. Jesus, grow some balls, bud. Like, come on, man. Anyway, that's Collision. That's your wreckage. So in saying that, what would be your grade, actually, Vet?
I know that there's a reason for it,
Right.
but I might have to give this an F anyway.
It has to be, man. I'm sorry.
No, I can't do that. No. It's D extra minus because Hook was on there and he hooked through guys around and he even suplexed Shane Taylor. So,
did you like that though? Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, because it's Hook, it's okay for Shane Taylor to get thrown around.
Yep, that's right. Hook has proven he can throw giant men.
He did
it to Big Bill. Basically,
Drake,
name all the big guys
wrestler?
that's ever been in the company. He's thrown them all. So why wouldn't he?
Bear Country.
Yeah,
man, even Andre the Giant. If Andre the Giant was around, Hook would freaking.
And Andre the Giant would be happy to take a bump for
him. he would be stoked to take a bump.
It would be better than the Pontiac Silverdome, brother.
Oh my God. Imagine that if he was around during those. Anyway, yeah, for me, it's just an F for absolute fuckery. This show just didn't mean anything to me. The only real storyline parts, I guess, was FTR and the tag match and Edge. And it still felt pretty piss weak. But, oh yeah, and finishing the story with Dustin. Right? But he doesn't deserve to finish it. Do we see Dustin in WWE possibly tonight?
Possibly.
Nah, Tony's petty. After this week, what's happened, he ain't gonna let him do that.
I don't think he has a choice. Did you see on the what was it? On the Hall of Fame kickoff show?
When Keith Lee. Bearcat was back.
I got one of my a la carte items and he wasn't even in the right company.
He wasn't even in the right company. I know, look, we know why he's there because of Mia Yim.
Yeah.
But you telling me Triple H wasn't in his ear and say, listen here, big fella. I know you were friggin' you were the Bearcat last time, but we're going to call you the Crab Cat next. Trust me, I've got you. No, but really, I think he's going to come back to WWE and he's going to be back to that NXT independent Keith Lee who pounced Adam Cole, to Mars. Remember that on NXT? Mm-hmm. That was brilliant. I truly think that's going to happen. And I don't think he cares. You know what? If that was in WWE, that happened, just that was the opposite, he would have been fired by WWE on the spot. Yep. TK, what are you going to do, buddy? You got no balls and you're going to love it. All right? So either push the guy or just let him go. Simple. Yeah.
And then, when Keith Lee comes back to WWE and then eventually, when Hook's contract is up, he can come to WWE and throw Keith Lee too.
Oh, if he does it, that's money. Hey, there was rumors that they wanted Hook. It wouldn't surprise me. I just hope they don't send Hook. Exactly, send Hook. There's his gimmick already. Send Hook. Let him hook everybody, and but I hope they never treat him like they did his daddy. If you know what I mean. Well, we don't want that, Ben.
Even in 2024, it'd be a different story,
Hey, at least he probably would have his same theme, though. Technically, he could take that over. It's, not an AEW theme. But anyway, it was an F. It was a double D minus for you.
Yep, D minus minus. Yep.
D minus minus.
Hook saved it from complete failure with his throw.
Oh, man. I love his throws, man. He's actually pretty good. He's very good at doing his throws. But anyway, in saying that, Vet, though, what's the go for you, man? Are you going to hit the Twitch after this?
Perhaps for a little bit.
Well, you play.
Well, if so, you could find me on Twitch and everywhere else at Opinion Haver. So whether that's X or Instagram or whatever opinion haver on all those things, that's me. And then you can see me every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, for the Next Level Review with Big Ray Hernandez. As you mentioned, Jimmy, we had Chris Silvio on to talk about his documentary, Rise Up From the Ropes, which is on his Patreon, so go check that out if you haven't done that already. And then on Monday, we have the Impact Attack with myself and Brandon, and that goes live at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And I know Brandon's going to be doing a WrestleMania Night 2 watch-along on Hamin Media Group channel. So, he is? Yeah, so Jimmy, if you want to just hop in? No?
I would, right? The problem with me, I tried to watch along once. You know me, Vet. My attention span, I can't, if I'm watching WrestleMania and trying to talk at the same time, it doesn't work, man. I have to either be doing one or the other. I can't watch it and talk about it at the same time.
Well, you could just sit there quietly.
Unless we're in the lounge room. Yeah, but then it's not a show. So, thank you for the offer, but I don't know if I could pull it off. That sounds bad.
Maybe you could just pop in and say hello and then pop out.
Wait, are you going to be on there?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. So
if you do it, I'll consider it.
Oh, don't do it just because.
Come on. I would love to see if you can do it. Only if Vet does it, Jerome. If Vet does it, I'll definitely join. Come on, pal. I've never done a show with Brandon.
I'm not going to tell you just meaning if I'm doing it or not.
I'll
just be there or not. So.
We'll see. I'll say
anyway,
that.
Yeah, so that's going on. That's going on later, possibly me. But certainly Brandon's got it going on. And apparently it was a good time last night for night 1. So
he did it last night too?
Yep. So check that out. Check out what else do we check out? Oh, and I think Stevie Richards he tried to do a watch along last night.
I told you he'll fail.
and he might try it again tonight. Who knows?
Nah.
I don't know.
I knew when you first said that, I'm like, oh, dude, I can't see him lasting. Do you remember I said that? And he didn't last. You said that is brilliant.
Yeah, he said he made it through about 3 matches. But
we love you, Stevie, man. Keep doing you, bro.
But even besides all that, he's got a lot of other stuff going on. So check out all his channels and everything. Check out. Here's something. So, Rad Rob Gaming channel. He does a thing for Rad Mania, week where he puts out all these interviews, and he had a bunch of people. He had Barry Horowitz. He did an interview with Barry Horowitz. He did an interview with who was it? I'm forgetting right now. There was a few people, but I was the one that kicked off the Rad Mania week. So if you want to see the episode where I tell my entire story of WrestleMania, from the booking, the travel, the events, the post events, and everything else, and all the shenanigans in between. Who did I meet? Who did I not meet? All that story. If you ever want to hear my story about WrestleMania, then go check out the Rad Rob Gaming channel and check out that video with me. It was a good interview. I thought if I do say so myself, and I tell a lot of stories on there that I've never told before. So if you
even ones that I don't know,
interesting, huh?
Even ones that I don't know. You've told me a few of these WrestleMania ones off the air. Oh, so I need to check it out too.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. I need to watch this.
So yeah, go check that out if you want to hear me tell more stories in a format that I usually don't. And then let's see what's left. Oh, Wrestler Rip Rogers, every Concrete Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, live, ask a question. Go see Rip. He taught me how to see wrestling, and I try to pass this knowledge on down to everybody else. So
absolutely, man.
That's it for me, Jimmy.
That's it. Well, if you want to follow me on the X, you can at DJ Mass Effects. You can also follow us at the PWC Network. But more importantly, please like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com, where for $5, not only do you get the realest talk, but also the best talk in all of professional wrestling. Also, HaminMediaGroup.podbean.com for all our affiliate shows, and the PWCNetwork.podbean.com for everything else. But look out for the WrestleMania review show tonight. I don't know if I'm doing a watch along. We'll see. But I'll take you up on that offer, possibly. I truly mean that. We'll see how I'm feeling by that point. But if I suck, vet, don't blame me. I'll try my best because I told you my attention span. But how does Brandon do it before we go? Does he have like? Can the listeners hear it, or like it's just reacting to what we're watching, but no one else?
I think you have to provide your own WrestleMania.
Okay, cool. That's no problem. All right, and I appreciate everybody telling me to do it. We'll see. I'm not going to promise, but we'll see. I might. It's more than likely than not, but we'll see. So anyway, in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is the vet Jamie Williams, and you've been listening and watching the HMG Saturday Night Wreckage right here on Hamin Media Group and channelattitude.com, and we're out. Peace.